All right, well, I'll start. So good morning. First, thanks for being here. Rear Admiral David Patchell, Vice Commander, U.S. Second Fleet in Norfolk, Virginia, and I'm a Canadian. And on behalf of Admiral Perry, it's my absolute privilege to command Combined Task Force 2 for Atlantic Alliance 25.
And so we're seeing a lot of things happening today. Walk me through some things that are going on as we see them.
Yeah, so absolutely, and I will let Admiral Pasteur and General Sullivan get into more of the details, but I will say just a couple things about the exercise itself. This is the largest amphibious exercise in over a decade here in the Western Atlantic, combining afloat forces and ashore forces. We have 3 amphibious assault ships, the USS New York, USS Oak Hill, and the Dutch ship Johan de Witt at sea this morning. They'll be joined later this week by George H.W. Bush Carrier Strike Group, HMCS Montreal from Canada, and the USS Normandy. So really robust force ashore. Afloat, the Marine Air Ground Task Force, commanded by General Sullivan, who you'll hear from, is an absolutely incredible force that will seize and retain terrain from here all the way up to Maine, throughout Atlantic Alliance.
So how does this communication between different countries, how does this help you come together when you're put in situations?
Yeah, so absolutely, this is an incredible opportunity to integrate one littoral force. So if you think about U.S. Navy, U.S. Marine Corps, and allies and partners coming together for one littoral force. So it's not about ashore and afloat, it's about operating the littoral, mutually supporting each other. Having allies and partners here is really important because we have to be ready to fight globally, whether it's in the high north in support of NATO, in the Pacific, in the Middle East, the Mediterranean, anywhere. And we have to be able to fight as a combined force. And so having the Dutch here, the amphibious task force led by Admiral Pasteur, is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, can you talk us through, is there a particular operational scenario that you were working on here today?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is a fictitious scenario, right? So we have a fictitious enemy. We're going to operate in a medium to highly contested littoral environment, maneuvering both afloat and ashore, really in the littoral. But all the scenarios are based on real world potential scenarios. And so we have developed a really robust exercise, really difficult objectives to achieve throughout the next 2 weeks.
Can you give us any more details on the specific, goals for these landing forces, what they're looking at today?
Yeah, so once again, I'll talk about the overall objective, and that is being able to fight as one integrated littoral force. And like I said, it's not about afloat and ashore, it's about a littoral force. And so you have, whether it's the Air Ground Task Force, the force ashore, mutually supporting, sustainment, intelligence, littoral domain awareness. And so that really is the objective, is to create that synergy amongst all the participants.
Could you talk about the technology and equipment that they're using? Is there anything particularly new or that you're testing out?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing is about that integration. Generally, the Admiral may want to talk about technology a little bit, but you see the 3 amphibious assault ships here integrating the carrier strike with that full capability throughout the week. So lots going on.
Is there any counter UAV or UAV techniques being used?
I'm not going to comment on that, thank you.
Okay.
So why did you decide to come out today? What's kind of your goal of coming out today?
Well, my goal here is to speak to all of you and to thank you for being here on the beach, to see the task force in action. So this amphibious demonstration would be an important part of any operation, sort of as a final check before we conduct operations, and also as a deterrence. So doing a large-scale assault like this is a deterrence to any enemy, knowing that we could do it. And so for me personally, being here, meeting the General, seeing the Admiral in person, and then welcoming all of you, and then seeing our forces in action is really important.
What is it like to see your forces in action today on the beach?
Incredible. I want to absolutely thank, there are over 8,000 Marines and sailors participating in this exercise. They've been planning this for months. They've been at sea since last week, and they'll remain at sea and deployed across the eastern seaboard until the 11th of July, including over Independence Day weekend. So I really appreciate their professionalism and their dedication to improving our warfighting readiness.